Hi everyone, this is APO Sports, and in this video we have to kind of decipher the Sheryl Swoopes appearance in the Gills Arena podcast. And there were a few things that were said that didn't sit well with me, and there appears to be a certain agenda that this lady, I don't know what to, I don't, that she seems to want to push, and it seems like she's running a campaign to kind of start stirring some stuff in regards to the team, to the players in the Indiana Fever. So I want to get into that. I wanna kind of make some comments. So we'll watch a little bit of what Sheryl Swoopes said, and then we'll react to some of the things that I think are false narratives being built to kind of try to destroy this team, which I don't think you can do, but I think there's a sense of there's a sense of that happening here. So let's check it out.
Yeah, I don't know. People in the
Yeah.
fever, we're like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit, some new
like
shit's
it's
going
a
on
lot.
around there.
It's a lot. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
wanna be here.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah,
this year.
Melissa,
What
for
you
one,
said, there's
she's
a lot
one
of
to
shit
play
going
more.
on. What kind of things do you feel?
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay,
I don't know. I ain't
okay,
even
but
on the
just
team.
I'm
I'm talking
you know.
about more social media.
Okay.
It's a turn.
Right.
It's a turn.
Talking about social media, they say me. I'm to social media. That's where I'm getting this information from. And the problem is that these narratives tend to catch fire. You have one example of maybe one player who's ready to go, and I think we all know who that player is. I think we all know that Melissa Smith is trying to get out of there, right? It doesn't fit with her goals. It doesn't fit with her purpose, because those goals and purpose have nothing to do with winning, and it has everything to do with Melissa Smith proving to the world that she's great. So yes, there's one example of one player that wants to leave. Is there really another one? Or are we pushing now? We're trying to catch that one and try to start a fire where there isn't one. Because when she's alluding to significant players, I think she wants to reel Kelsey Mitchell in there, right? She wants to highlight and kind of say Kelsey Mitchell is another one of those significant players. Melissa Smith being one, which I disagree. I don't think Melissa Smith is a significant player for the Indiana Fever. I actually think she's hurting them more than helping. Kelsey Mitchell is a significant player, and I think, there's been some speculation based on some of the recent comments that Kelsey Mitchell has made that there's a possibility she leaves the team. So maybe those two. But let's look at some of these comments, because she also tries to involve and mention Aaliyah Boston being some of those players.
But the beginning of the year, you have a player like an Aliyah Boston, who was Rookie of the Year last year, #1 draft pick, a hell of a player. But because things weren't going the way everybody thought they should, then you got social media coming out calling her everything but a child of God. Made the kid delete her social media. And now that they're winning and she's playing better, oh my God, we love you, Aliyah.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. So what happens when Aliyah ain't playing well again?
It's back to
Like you
it's back
know
to
what I mean?
it.
And so as a player,
Back to it. Back to
but as
it
a
again.
player, do you want to?
Is this true? Because I feel like this is not necessarily true. I don't remember very well at the beginning of the season how much heat or how much hate Aaliyah Boston was receiving. I don't believe it to be. It's hard for me to believe it to be true, because she was second in voting in the All-Star game. So it was Caitlin Clark and then Aaliyah Boston. So she was getting the support, and she was showing to someone that she was great. So I don't understand, and I don't think the fans have gotten after Aaliyah Boston in the same way that they have gotten after Melissa Smith, or in the same way that fans have gotten after Christy Wallace, and now, which saddens me, gotten after Katie Lou Samuelson. But I don't think Aaliyah Boston has ever been reeled into that into getting that sort of treatment. And here's the other thing, right? Because who are the other teams in America that if players don't do well, social media makes a big deal out of it, right? There's only a few, and we have the New York Yankees in baseball, right? If you are a New York Yankee and you suck, the fans are going to tell you, but New York Yankees is the biggest baseball team in America, the most popular, the most glamorized. I mean, and then the Dodgers, same thing with the Dodgers. In basketball, is the Lakers, right? If you play with the Lakers and you suck, I mean, just look at ask D'Angelo Russell all the hate that he's received for missing a few shots in the playoffs, right? But it's the Lakers. It's the most glamorized, the most popular, the most valuable basketball franchise in America. This is essentially what the Indiana Fever have become. How many people want to play for the Lakers? I want to say nearly the majority of basketball players would like to play for the Lakers because they know the attention that it gets, the glamour, the popularity that it gets. How many people want to play with the Yankees? A lot of people want to play with the Yankees. So that's what the Indiana Fever have become. But also, I have to get back, and I just don't think Aaliyah Boston is the type of player who the fans will get after, or at least I hope not. Because Aaliyah Boston, if you're looking at the stat sheets or the box score to evaluate how Aaliyah Boston is playing, then I don't think that's the right approach. Aaliyah Boston is just so good in so many different areas, contributing specifically to winning. She's one of those winners that we're talking about. So, I mean, and this is also a plea. Like, if this is the case, we need to stop getting after Aaliyah Boston or Lexi Hall. And that's the crazy thing. Lexi Hall, a lot of times in the stat sheets, she doesn't put up big numbers, but the fans will never get after Lexi Hall. At least I don't think so. Because they know everything else that she brings to the table as far as defense and as far as hustle and as far as getting after rebounds and the 50-50 balls and all the dirty work. She's doing that, and the fans all appreciate what she brings to the table because it contributes to winning. So I think this is another attempt to push some sort of false narrative that, the fans don't appreciate Aaliyah Boston or only appreciate Aaliyah Boston when she plays well. Because I do believe that Aaliyah Boston is a very significant piece of this team. Is going to be for years to come. I would never want to see Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston be separated. And they also seem to have a really good relationship. So this is trying to stir a certain pot.
To continue to stay in a situation where you keep yourself vulnerable to all of the hate that you know is going to come to you if you're not playing the way everybody thinks you should be playing.
But the grass ain't greener.
And that's even people who don't know basketball.
Grass ain't greener on the other side. You go to another team thinking it's going to be different. It's the same and everything.
But if you're a player, and I'm just using Aliyah as an example because Aliyah is not a free agent. But if you're a player like an Aliyah Boston, you know the worth you bring to any other franchise. And you know how that works.
This lady, I mean, talk about toxicity. She's trying to plant this seed and see if it grows. She wants these players to leave the Fever and leave Caitlin Clark on an island by herself. I mean, it's already enough with the negative comments that she's had on Caitlin Clark about making stuff up. But the warfare campaign that this person has on Caitlin Clark is incredible. It's just incredible.
I haven't had a conversation with anybody. I don't know who leaving, who's staying. I'm just talking, right? Scenarios. That's all.
Devil's advocate on.
Never talked. No conversations. I'm just talking.
The best player.
No,
when they're winning, it's like, Aliyah had a good game.
Yeah.
And as soon as they lose a game, it's right back to why is she here?
Why is she here?
So as a player, though, from a mental standpoint, I don't know if I want to subject myself to that every single game.
But that's the difference between this whole.
I don't want to say it, but I won't say it. But let's just say this is not a person I want to ever be around. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to highlight with that podcast with Sheryl Swoopes. and her campaign to I don't know, to kind of infiltrate the fever and to start planting seeds so that these significant players, as she calls them, leave Caitlin Clark eventually, because oh no, these players don't want to deal with the the toll and the mental toll, the everything that comes with being Caitlin Clark's teammate. You don't want to be exposed to that. You want to leave and go to a better place where you have better mental health and you can just focus on basketball. That's pretty much what she's doing. So anyway, it's just going to be an ongoing campaign, I believe. I think, Sheryl Swoopes has become the Skip Bayless to LeBron James, and I hope she knows how terrible she's coming across, but it doesn't seem like that's the case, because she's being enabled by other people around her who are who back her up and who are aligned with her train of thought. So we're gonna continue to combat and battle this issue moving forward. But that's it. That's all I wanted to cover with this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.